Alright, you guys, I am with you. We are. Well. Where is my sound? Well, good time to start the live because it looks like my P3D decided to what is this doing? Hold on, guys. Alright, let's see if it, there we go. I thought that we were going to be done there. Can you do a test and make sure that you guys can hear me? We are live. Let's open Restream chat. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I will enlarge this window. I've already taken off. It's 8:05.
Shauna Bates Matsada. I hear you.
Johnny, can you hear the jet? Are you able to hear the sound of the jet in the background? And also, can you see the cockpit like you guys did yesterday? That would help me out a lot, dear. Okay. I do want to open up.
The King. I can hear the jet, no cockpit.
Okay, so you're not seeing what are you seeing, the King?
Shauna Bates Matsada. I hear the jet and see out the window.
Okay, so you're seeing out the window. That should give you a better view of the cockpit right there. Can you see the cockpit now? This is like more of an inside cockpit view. And the other
Shauna
one,
Bates Matsada. N.
Yeah, now we're in the cockpit. If I do that, that takes us outside. Well, it basically is the view of just the window.
Shauna Bates Matsada.
Straight ahead.
Yes, the cockpit. The King. Now I see the cockpit.
Alright, the King. So this is the payware version compared to what I was flying yesterday. Let me show you another window to help you better understand how detailed it is. So you're probably not going to see this, but I don't think it's visible for you guys, but it's a program that I use. This is actually the CDU. And what I'm looking at here is my waypoints that I'll be that my plane is going to be flying to on the way to Los Angeles. Now, this is a longer flight. We still got 2 hours and 57 minutes before I even start descent. So, yeah, a bit of a longer flight, but I had to bring some cargo from Toronto all the way to Los Angeles. So that's what we're doing now.
The King. Looks more detailed. A lot more buttons.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot more buttons. You know, I really wanted you to hear the detail of this thing starting up. So I'm going to do something, because we've not been in flight very long. We're gonna reload this flight, because I want you guys, the King, I want you to hear well, no, maybe I shouldn't start over. Maybe we'll just keep on flying. But the detail of this thing starting up is really amazing.
Shauna Bates Matsada. https://udo.be/iw1btrup5kk. The King. That would be awesome.
Alright, let's do this. We're gonna do this over. So I'm gonna exit this for a minute. We're gonna exit completely.
Shauna Bates Matsada. John's other channel.
Thank you, Shauna. I appreciate that. So we're going to start from scratch. And I'm going to go through, because I want you to hear, wait till you hear the first officer going through and getting everything set up on this flight. It's pretty detailed. So that's closing right now. We'll go ahead and I'm going to close that because we don't need it. You okay on that? We're going to exit FS Airlines. I've still got Active Sky running, so I'm not going to reload that. Okay. So here what we're going to do, we're going to close that. Now let's open up P3D all over again, and I'll select the jet. I'm excited for you to hear how this thing's amazing, man. Alright, just give it a minute. It's going to load here. It's just taking a minute for P3D to load. Come on. Here we go. Oh yes, here we go. Change vehicle. Now we're in business. So I got select. So we're going to go with the 737-900 ER. That's the extended range. Accurate Sky is our weather theme. Change airports. So type in CYYZ. And then we're going to go down here and select our runway.
The King. Chat box in the way.
Yep, I'll have that out of your way here in just a minute, my friend. Let me get my runway selected here, and then we'll get you. You guys will be on. I'm going through the gates, right? Oh, here we go. Gate 124 is what we'll go with. Alright, now the sim's going to load, and then I'll get you guys where you can see it. But in the beginning here, before we get... Once we get going down the runway, you'll be able to stay focused with me, but I'm going to be tabbing back and forth a little bit because I got to do things to get the plane set up. But once we get out on the runway and taking off, we'll be good to go. Come on. Okay, so here, let me get you
on ground.
Hold on a second. Alright, so the plane's just loading up. It's basically going to start up in the cold and dark setting. So the only thing you're going to hear is that APU. Which is what you're hearing right now. There's the outside view. We're going to go over here for a minute. Again, you're going to see me doing some tabbing and stuff, so it's going to be hard to keep focused on the cockpit just for a few minutes while I get my first officer open. You'll be able to see first officer, I think, as I go through and show you what I got to do there. There we go. So you should. Now I'm basically just setting up my flight with first officer. These are things that I need to make sure he's got set. 33 right's going to be the runway we're taking off from. There's 33 rights. 32,000 altitude we'll be climbing to tonight. Does it have a star? Yes. ILS. Setting my flaps for when we do our descent. We're going to set that to, we'll leave it at 3. Speed brakes. WX is the weather. Is this a cargo flight? I'm going to leave that unchecked. Our Approach runway is going to be 24R. Set ILS checked. KLAX. .50. We'll get that later. X. There we go. Now, when I go to the cockpit, which I'm going to do now by opening up the cockpit door. First officer's going to come in, and you're going to hear a lot of buttons being clicked on and switches being flipped and tests being ran. So that's what it's doing now. Good to see you guys. I want to thank you guys for watching again. As always, Jana, you always being there to help me out.
The King. Awesome. CDU message displayed. Single FMC operation.
There we go. Parking brake is on.
CDU message cleared.
Now we've got the fan running. And now we're just waiting for him to do his stuff. If I want to see what he's doing, I can go back over here to this other window. 58 seconds for GPU to connect. And GPU stands for ground power unit.
The King. Jet warming up. Getting ready.
Oh yeah. You're gonna love the way this thing sounds when we go to start it up here in a few minutes. Like I said, if you recall yesterday, we didn't have to do all this. Didn't have to do all the checklist and all that. But on Payware, that's where the difference comes in.
CDU message displayed. Enter IRS position.
Alright, he's going to enter our IRS position. And then we're going to align it.
The King. It's very detailed. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I love flying the Payware. It's my favorite. Absolute favorite.
CDU message cleared.
I did that. If you hit the throttle, let me show you this. Watch. If I move this throttle up, okay, it'll beep saying, hey, put that throttle back down. There's the fire alarm. I don't know if it shows you guys like any. I don't know if you can see their hands flipping buttons or not, but that's what's going
CDU
on.
message displayed. CDU message cleared.
You heard the oxygen. Then he's going to tell me here in a few minutes that I can program the CDU, and then he's going to go out and perform a walk around. That's when I will set up the flight plan. And it has to be 100%. Now, the amazing thing is when a pilot, a real pilot, they actually use the sims to go through the same training and learn the same stuff that I've been learning to fly these payware planes. Much different from freeware. Freeware, you don't got to do anything other than just pretty much get in the jet, load your flight plan, set your autopilot.
Cool.
And that's about it. Payware, much different. Alright, so we're going to program the CDU. And you might not see this, it might not be a visible program. It was actually programmed for those who are visually impaired. So I'm going to click on the Less FMC. Nav data is active. Down to the route page, I'm going to hit Alt A. Left soft 1 to set up our departure. So we're looking for 33 right. So 5 right, right soft 5. And then now I'm just selecting my SID. GOPIP. So left soft 4. I believe Hawk is, yep, Hawk. Hawk. Execute. Right soft 6. We're back on the route page. I'm going to do Alt A, go back to our departures and arrival. Right soft 2. Now I'm working on our arrival airport, which is going to be 24 right. There's 24 right, right soft 1.
CDU message displayed. CDU message cleared.
There it is.
CDU message displayed. CDU message cleared.
Execute. Go to my leg page. All right, we got a vector on the waypoint page. I don't think you guys can see this. Can you guys see that window that I'm on? What are you guys seeing right now?
CDU message displayed. CDU message cleared.
I'm basically programming the leg page, which is your waypoints. Now we're going to load the weather.
The King. Can't see much.
Okay, so you're not seeing much on that window, are you?
CDU message displayed. CRZ Win uplink ready. Shauna
West
Bates
Road.
Mad Sada. Can't see it. CDU message cleared.
Yeah, this window right here, let me show you. This window here is not, I don't think it's got any writing on it. I don't think. Alright. Go to my init rep page. Alright. Right soft 6, right soft 6. I'm going to put in our flaps, which is going to be 5. Left soft 1. Then I'm going to do left soft 3 2 times. That copies the tape, speed tape information. Right 1, right 2, and right 3. Puts it in. And then we can look at it. So 154 for VR, 156 for V2,
The
and
King.
164.
The pre-flight checklist before start flow. After start flow. Window is over the main box you're in.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's a blank window anyway, so you guys wouldn't see that. So, alright, so I'm going to put in some speeds here. $327 for the heading. 327 altitude. $32,000. All right, so I'm gonna open another window here real quick. Wing anti-ice, we're going to check mark that. Engine 1, we're going to check mark that. And engine 2, we're going to check mark that. We'll close that. Alright, now
CDU message cleared.
let this guy finish doing his stuff, my co-pilot. That's the stick shaker. Auto throttle light is on. When he's done here, you'll hear an announcement. That's going to let me know that we're getting ready to
Glide
do
slow.
our before start checklist.
Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
These are
Sink
all
rate.
the
Pull
things
up.
that he's got to test.
Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink.
And all this
Don't
stuff
think.
that's going on right
Too
now
low.
is the
Terrain.
real deal.
Too
Like
low. Gear.
the pilots
Too
have
low.
to do all
Flat.
this stuff before
Too
they
low.
can take
Terrain.
off in a plane.
Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle.
So next time you're in a
Approaching
jet,
minimum.
just remember what the pilots up there doing.
2,500. 1,000. 500. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Caution. Terrain. 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 Pull up.
All right, let's. We might be ready for our. All right, we're ready to. Now we'll close the door. Now he's going to get us set up for. Once we go down the runway, I'll make sure you guys can see what's going on. Just, I've got to tab back and forth, so. And get ready, the King. I want you to hear the sound of this thing starting up. It's pretty amazing. I'm hoping you'll be able to hear it. Alright, let's take a look and see if he's still waiting on. Okay, we're just waiting for the APU. APU power is established. Alright, disconnecting ground power. Removing wheel chocks. Checking the fuel panels. Checking the hydraulic panels. Air conditioning panels, external lights. Get ready, the King. We're getting close, my friend.
The King. Speakers on blast. Ready.
Well, it's getting ready to start up here in just a second.
Arinks. Everything's sounding good here.
Alright, here we go. Before takeoff is good, or before start? Ground crew from cockpit. Ready for pushback. Nose left. Start engines.
Shauna Bates Matsada. John, you should make the king a mod too.
That's probably not a bad idea, Shauna. Back inside the cockpit. Oh, I did. It's set. Daggone it. I done set it. Shut your mouth.
CDU message displayed. Tie on above 10 degrees.
All right. Make sure he's setting flaps. Setting the RCDU legs page.
CDU message cleared.
Guys, stand by 1 second. Someone don't know how to stop calling me. Alright, can you guys hear me? We are going to be doing...
A hell of a pre-start. LOL.
Alright, so... Well, what I wanted you to hear was, I didn't have it on the outside view. I wanted you to hear the engine start up from the outside, and I forgot to hit my outside view, so I didn't get the. All right, we're gonna do our taxi checklist. I'm gonna hit enter start flow one more time to make sure he's got everything in. Setting probe heat. Yep, he did that. Start selectors are set. External lights are set. Internal lights are set. Setting flaps, that's set. Okay, we're good to go for a RCU page. Yeah, he done did that. He's gonna make sure it's set though. Alright, here we go. We can do our taxi checklist now. Now here's where I gotta actually turn my actual flight controls, my yoke. So I'm gonna turn it to the left, full left, back center, over to the right, back to the center, straight back to the center, and forward. And now we are going to jump. I'm going to spawn to the runway, being as I can't technically visually drive us there because I would run somebody over. So we'll just do it this way. I got to get to the second window. Come on. Sometimes it takes me a minute. Here we go. Here we go. Just work me there. There we go. Now, before we take off, I need to open up FS Airline. That's what's going to record my flight. Oh, crap. Here we go. Log in. Fly. Fuel up. Fly. It's basically recording my flight, make sure I'm, actually flying and not saying I flew and really did. Alright. Now, we are ready to, before takeoff, flaps are set. Now I'm going to get us on the window here so you guys can see it. Let me fix my trim. There we go, 1.51, that's what I want. Alright, so I'm going to get us on the window so you guys can see the full takeoff. Alright, Mr. King, can you see what is going on here, my friend? I'm going to give you the window view straight outside the cockpit. That should be looking straight ahead out in front of the airplane. Can everybody see that okay? We'll do a full screen view here. When you're ready, Mr. King, you tell me.
You're a real pro at this. Yes, I can see.
Alright. We're about to jet up out of here. Parking brake is off.
Brandon Armstrong. Where are you flying from and that extended range model to get to New York? Shauna Bates Matsada. We see it.
No, we're flying to Los Angeles, my friend. I know New York's another city that don't sleep, but so is Los Angeles. Alright. Here we go, my friends. I'm gonna get going down the runway. Here we go, Brandon.
"13 knots. 17 knots. 21 knots. 26 knots. 34 knots. 45 knots. 56 knots. 67 knots. 80 knots. Shauna Bates Matt Sada. We going to the
92 knots.
casinos.
That's
104
right.
knots. 115 knots. 126 knots. 137 knots. 147 knots. Airborne. 157 knots. Brandon Armstrong. Listen to those engines scream, folks. Beautiful.
And there we go, my friends. We are up and in the air. We didn't get a stick shaker or nothing on that takeoff. That was beautiful. And we'll go over here and do our after takeoff.
The King. That was pretty dang cool. The engines are blasting.
Yeah, they are. We are on our way, people. On our way. That's a nice smooth takeoff. That was a beautiful takeoff right there, wasn't it, Brandon? That was smooth right there. Flaps are in. Gear is up. We're at 228 knots indicated. Currently at 5,758 feet. 6,000 feet now.
Pay where is for sure the way to go.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. I would say even watching it probably makes it more enjoyable than, and I like to go in between the two views here, like right now. You
Brandon
got that
Armstrong.
view.
There's nothing like the sounds of a 737 with screaming engines roaring down the runway. I love it.
Bringing you guys back in the cockpit with me for a little different view there. Now, if you wanted to see the sky and nothing but the sky, we could do this.
Brandon Armstrong. That was the best takeoff yet.
Got some different views there. Yeah, that was one of my better takeoffs. That was
The King.
pretty smooth.
Badass jet right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. I love flying this one, man. It's definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite. And just the quality of the sounds and the way it looks, pretty amazing. And now, pretty much till I get to cruising altitude, we'll just sit back and enjoy the ride. It's not a very short flight though, folks. I don't know that you'll make it through the whole flight or not. It's gonna be about a 3-hour flight until we get to cruising altitude, flight level 320.
The King. Brandon, he had to make a good takeoff. He has valuable cargo. The King. Brandon Armstrong.
That's right.
You're not lying about that being a badass jet. I'm looking forward to flying it really soon.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be training Brandon to fly the Payware. So that'd be exciting. I'll tell you what, let's Brandon, if you want, meet me up in the YouTube room and I'll bring you on the air and let you say hello to everybody. You guys, let's jump over to the server real quick and then we'll come back to the cockpit here.
Shauna Bates Matsada. That's awesome. CDU message displayed. Tie on above 10 degrees. CDU message cleared.
Alright, we'll wait for Brandon to come up. And he can introduce himself to you guys. I enjoy flying, believe it or not. It's relaxing. Being able to sit back and listen to the sounds. Transition altitude, that means that we've reached 18,000 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I can't make it much longer. Glad I got to see the checklist and take off.
Oh, me too.
Cool.
Yeah,
Brandon
me
Armstrong.
too, the King.
Considering I've been to Los Angeles, some of those runways are really short.
If you want though, the King, what you can do tomorrow, just come back up on the channel, look for this live stream that we got now, and just go to the end of it and you can watch the landing as well if you want. And I think we will make the King a mod if he chooses to take the position. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I will. I wonder if I can do it from the chat. Let me see.
Hello, everybody.
Hold on 1 second, Brendan. Let me see if I can make you.
The King. Welcome, Brandon.
Well, we don't want to do that, so let me exit that. I'll work on getting you added as a mod, the King. I think I got to be logged into YouTube to do it. It won't let me do it from that chat.
I gotta.
From the chat there. So, Brandon,
I
what's
like
up,
that
buddy?
name, the King. Not much. I want to say hello to everybody. Hello to the King. Hello to everybody. That's an awesome name, by the way. I like it. I love it.
Yeah, Sean is up here with us, the King. We got others
Hey,
on
Sean.
other platforms listening, so we've got a crowd.
I know we got
tonight.
Josh listening, so hello to him too.
What you guys FaceTiming? Is that what y'all was doing?
No, actually, I was actually looking at the chat and I just saw him write in.
Oh,
YouTube when I'm tuned in.
Oh, did he say something?
He said everything
Shauna Bates,
sounded
Matt
good
Sada.
before you took off.
I know you have to do it from YouTube SIDS.
Yeah, let me log in. Let me grab my
Okay.
phone.
It's okay. I don't have to be a
Oh, am I
mod.
low?
I don't get on as much. I wanted to make sure to catch this.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm glad that you're still around, and it's good to see, you know,
Shauna Bates, Matt
friendly
Sada.
faces come back in.
Hi Brandon.
Ah, who?
That was Shauna. She said hi.
Okay. How
Um,
are you tonight, Shauna?
And Josh, hello to Josh. Yeah, that was a real nice takeoff. That was beautiful.
That was the best takeoff yet. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a nice takeoff. I think from now on I'm going to set my trim at about 1.51, 1.41, and no higher.
I'm wondering if that's... Yeah.
Because it didn't climb like a rocket when I took off that time neither.
Well, and you didn't get that shaking either, so I'm wondering if that may be the contributing factor there.
Well, trim is a huge factor. Your trim is,
Oh, yeah.
I
The
mean,
king. Good to meet ya, Brandon. You ready
Yeah.
to fly this jet, Brandon?
the King said, are you ready to fly this jet?
Heck yeah, man. I've been ready for several months now,
Alright.
sir. Yes, I am
Trim
definitely ready to fly this
1.51 is
jet.
probably really 2 or 3.1. Shauna Bates, Matt Sada. I am good. How are you, Brandon?
Trust me, not being in the
Correct.
cockpit for a year makes
With
me
the
a
current
bit
TFM.
bored.
Yeah, you know, I can tell you, Josh, that if I set my trim over 2 point anything, it's going to be too much.
Yeah.
I've done it before, and when I set it to 2.0 or up, this thing will climb to the moon, buddy. I mean, it.
Oh, it climbs like it's got rocket boosters strapped on the side of it.
Yeah, so I like one. I really like that 1.5. I think 1.51. I think that's.
I think I'd go with that if you can.
Yeah. And we've got a full load of cargo. I've got 21,000 pounds of cargo
Oh my gosh.
that's going to Los Angeles. So,
I'm guessing you're flying that from Indy.
no, CYYZ.
Oh, you're going from... Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're
it's
going from there.
yeah, bit of a longer flight, but it'll pay
Hey,
off
it
when,
makes the
when
money.
when the tires touch the ground. Now you can ask the King last night when I did the freeware. I mean, it was nothing.
The king. Big flight.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Flying freeware is almost too easy now. It's like it's you don't do anything, you know.
You know, and it's funny because you were telling me earlier that you were like, I'm missing something, but it's like you're really not in the freeware because you don't have to really do anything.
There's just so many habits. You know, when I took off, I was going to do my gear. You don't got to. It does it automatically. I was going
Oh
to do
my
my
gosh.
flaps. Didn't have to. It did it automatically. I was going to do my after takeoff checklist. Didn't have to. I don't even know that it does that on the freeware. Freeware don't even do that, I don't think.
No, it doesn't do half of that stuff. It doesn't do after takeoff, descent, none
I
of
mean,
that.
Yeah, a lot of auto. But this payware. You have a lot of checklist and etc.
yeah, exactly. Like King said, there's a lot of auto on the freeware, but the payware, you got a lot of checklists and etc.
Yep. Yep.
And, you know, we use that other program, the King, called First Officer that does all the other stuff as a co-pilot. And to be honest, it should be that way, because
Yeah.
when you fly a jet like this, you need a co-pilot.
You need a co-pilot. You're not flying that thing by
I mean,
yourself.
if you imagine if I did all that by myself, it'd take an hour before we could get off the ground.
Yeah, you'd still be on the ground going through checklists.
So it'd be nice to have all them other buttons. That'd make it nice. What I'm talking about, the King, they're getting ready to do an upgrade with TFM to where we have even more control with the payware. Meaning, when we do an ILS with an auto land, we'll get a
Okay.
light that comes on.
Yeah, co-pilot is a must in that beast.
And
Oh,
say
yeah.
that it's available.
Yeah, we'll have a light that comes on. It'd be a green light that says, auto lands available, and then we would activate the second autopilot, also known as Command B.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the King said this jet is definitely a beast. It definitely is.
I am in full agreement with you on that, sir. I am in definite agreement with you on that. I love that jet.
This is probably my favorite jet over all the payware. This is probably my favorite
I can
one.
see why. I can see why, because it's the most hassle-free, it's the most trouble-free. You've never had any issue with alarms going off like you did the 777, which I'm still baffled by that.
I'm not fully sure still why that went off, but
I asked Declan about it a couple of days ago. He said it might be something to do with maybe the takeoff config file or something.
could be. Very well could be. I don't know. We took off that one night, nothing went off, if you remember correctly.
Yeah. He's saying maybe it could be that, or maybe first officer maybe couldn't have set something right where he wasn't
All right,
sure.
now,
but I asked
you guys
him about
heard that.
it too.
Y'all heard that beep. Beep. That means we got 1,000 feet to go and we'll be at cruise altitude.
Man, oh man.
And this payware, I mean, you can hear the engine, but not a lot. It's like being in the real
Okay.
thing.
Last night in freeware, he had
Yeah, every
smoke
time I've
alarm
been
going off.
you
LOL.
know, listening to that
Put you
thing,
your
I felt
smokes
like I was
away.
in the real Boeing.
He said last night in the freeware, we had smoke alarms going off because the passengers smoking too much. Basically, what
And they're
happened
not
was
supposed to.
the no smoking sign kept going off and on, off and on.
Well, technically, you're not supposed to smoke on board an aircraft anyway.
Well, technically, but here's the thing: people are
Technically,
wrong.
but people
I
do
was
it.
talking about this last night, and people are wrong. And I've heard them say, "Oh, if you smoke on a plane, it can cause it to blow up." Well, you're wrong. That's not why. That's not why
No,
they
I'd
don't let
never-
you smoke on a plane. They don't let you smoke
Yeah,
on a
exactly.
plane because of other people that don't smoke. It makes it
Yep.
smoky and stinky on the plane. 'Cause back in the 70s and 80s, you could smoke on a plane.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because I saw on YouTube, just randomly looking around, I saw some airline training videos about what to do with people who want to smoke and they don't move from their seats to the smoking section.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was quite interesting. Oof. I bet you planes in the 60s, though, airlines, I bet those planes had a lot of a smoky smell to them. Man.
Oh yeah, I mean, gotta get that yellow stuff on the ceilings, on the windows.
They
Yep.
had ashtrays
Yep.
on the seat handles.
On the carpets.
Yeah, they had ashtrays on the seat handles. You didn't actually have to leave your seat. There was ashtrays on the seats.
Yeah, I actually saw promotional films from back during that time of airlines, and they advertised how you could smoke and how they had complimentary ashtrays on the handles of the seats. I was like, This is a trip to watch.
Yeah. Just shows you, I mean, imagine today trying to even think about getting on a plane with a lit cigarette. You would be taking off that plane quicker than you could say paradiddle with a skittle.
Yes.
Now let's look at our descent time now. 3 hours and 29 minutes, folks. So that means at 12:09, no, 12:39. Let's see.
Let me see.
12:09, 12:39. So 12:39. About 12:39, 12:45, we'll be on making our descent.
The king. Craziness. LOL. Hi
And
John and Chad. I got to head out. Had a blast watching this awesome jet take off.
Yeah, man, keep on coming back. I got plenty of more flights we're going to be doing. The one thing I was going to say real quick, and have a good night, the King. I really am glad to see
definitely.
you back up on here. Just as much as I am to see Shauna and everybody else. In the sim, the flight time is just as accurate as real time. So to go from
Absolutely.
Detroit to Miami, you know, it's about a 2-hour flight. And that's really what it is. It's amazing how the sim
I gotta
matches
say,
all that.
It's funny you're taking this flight because I did the flight to Los Angeles last year from Austin, and it was about the same amount of time. It was about a 3-hour flight.
I almost messed up. I almost took a flight to. Remember when I did that flight to the? Oh my gosh! Was it Grand Canyon or was it Niagara Falls?
Oh, it was Grand Canyon. Yes.
KGCR, I believe and
I believe so. Yeah.
they only have 2 runways. Runway 20, which is not an ILS. All right, folks, we got some overspeed happening here. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Overspeed. All right, let's adjust our speed here. No big deal.
That rarely happens in the payware, folks.
No, this happens.
Oh, it does. Okay, I've never seen it happen before.
Well, yeah, it's just we're going a little bit faster than what is in the flight plan.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, slow down. Let me show you here in a minute. Hold on. See there, it went up.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Stay there, baby.
A race. Did you hit the trim wheel again and AP went off?
That wasn't autopilot, Josh.
Why do you think that was autopilot?
That was over. That's just the overspeed. It was going a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't hit the trim wheel. He said you hit that trim wheel. No, I did not, Josh. Don't be jinxing me like that, homie.
Ah, don't be messing this flight up, Josh.
All right, we're staying at 308. Looks like
Oh my gosh.
Mach speed 0.75. That's good.
You guys.
Speed back up again. The reason
Folks, I'm going to jump out of here and tune in on the YouTube side.
We've got
Bet you
some,
got some wind.
tailwind pushing us.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go. You just got up here. What do you mean you're leaving? Oh man.
I'm gonna tune in on the YouTube side, sir.
Yeah, we just got some wind. That's all it is.
I figured that's what it was.
Oh, shut up.
I got a feeling you're gonna have tailwind for quite a while.
If I get this thing to slow down a little bit, yeah. Come on. But yeah, go ahead, dude. I'll be here. You can come up later. Or...
All right, I'm gonna tune in and chat with the others on YouTube. Maybe I can answer some questions while you're slowing things down.
Well, I doubt they got any questions, but yeah. I'll be here.
Some might. You never know. All right.
You gotta overlook him, guys. He can't hang with the big dogs. Josh, you can come up on the server if you want. All it is, we got tailwind going on right now, you guys, and that's why it's being a butthead.
There you go.
Brandon Armstrong. Looks like you got it slowed down.
The old man left, Josh. Yeah, he left. He had to go and get his nighttime snack made for him. I think all that is, that overspeed off and on, is because of the wind, I think.
Did you, were you getting bad winds on the ground? Like, did you use the, what is it, the extra climb power? That it comes with that option for...
No, I didn't use that. No,
Brandon Armstrong. For your information, I am not old.
He's old, guys. Don't listen to him. When the sun goes down, they gotta run from these servers. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta go. Let me see if I can get it to. I don't even think we can control the Mach speed right now.
No, you kinda can't. Unless you put, I don't even know if you put speed in a VDOT if you can do that. It's probably trying to go 0.78, but it can't.
Yeah,
It's going over it.
But when I check speed, it's giving me speed in like the regular speed, like 308, 309.
Yeah. Have you tried that Rex Skyforce, by the way? Like, have you taken the plunge with that?
No, I'm not yet. I want to, but I just don't know. see if 290 is slow it down. I know what I'll do. I'm gonna use my brakes. Alright, let's see if it'll stay under 300 now. I brought it down to 294. With my, with my, you know, by hitting the slash key.
Brandon Armstrong.
Yeah.
That weather app was talking about clicking a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it was talking about how you could, you know, move stuff around or whatever, but that don't really say that it won't be accessible. I mean, Accurate Sky's the same way, Brandon. Like, there's a lot on there you can click.
A lot of customization and stuff you can do, yeah.
And I mean, we make it work there, so he's already getting back up to 301. Why? Let me see if I can. I know what I'll do. Go to my. I didn't think about my leg page. It's at 0.75. 0.758 on speed. Let's do 0.755 slash FL320.
CDU message displayed. Invalid entry.
No, let's do it that way.
CDU message cleared.
Point 755.
CDU message displayed. Invalid entry.
Yeah,
CDU message cleared.
It won't let me type in the speed that way. I typed in 0.755 slash FL320, but it won't. Maybe I gotta do the whole number. Let me try that. 0.755 slash 32,000.
CDU message displayed. Invalid entry.
No, I don't like
CDU
that
message
either.
cleared.
Well, we're staying steady at 308 right now, so maybe to. Is it MCV or FMC that it goes by what the computer says on speed?
FMC.
MCP is actually like Mach speed, isn't it?
No, MCP is speed that that you put in manually. So that'll be for indicated. Now I'm not sure about Mach, how to do Mach manually.
So when it says MCP, does that mean we're on MCP or?
Yeah.
Hold on, you guys, stand by 1 second. Yeah, we're getting the speed alarm every now and then. I don't know how else
Brandon
to put this thing
Armstrong.
to.
I'm surprised we don't have a way to control the Mach speed.
We don't. We cannot control Mach right now. Wait, auto throttle should be on. So when the button says like auto throttle off, does that mean it's off?
Yeah, what the hell? How did it shut off? Yeah, turn that shit on.
That'll help out a lot.
Yeah, it kind of needs to be on for the speed. Otherwise, it won't even. Speed won't even. Oh man.
Well, I don't know why it went off. I must have hit it or something. I don't know.
I would put FMC speed back on, then see what happens. Now that auto throttle back on.
Who was that? Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna put it back on back to FMC. Oh yeah, there we go, guys. I don't know why auto throttle was off. It was on when we took off.
You probably, you may have like bumped something on the freaking
Probably.
Bravo with the.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it.
You probably bumped the throttle.
Brandon
or something.
Armstrong. That's weird that the auto throttle just turned off like that.
No, it's no big deal, Brandon. It probably something that I hit. But tell them I'm gonna go grab my drink. Just tell them about this new weather that we've considered looking into. And I'll be right back. Tell them about that. No, I'll be right back. I'll grab my drink.
So for videos in particular, this weather add-on Sky Rex Force, basically it's a competitor to
Work
Active
talent.
Sky.
I heard the
And,
stick shaker a few minutes ago.
Apparently
Everything
it
all
makes
right?
the sky, like if it's actually dark outside, the sky actually looks, dark. And unlike unlike Active Sky, where the engine the Active Sky uses sends the weather to the sim, and then the sim processes it. Skyforce Rex Skyforce, it's called Skyforce, I just call it Skyforce for short. Skyforce actually processes the weather on the server, sent to the sim, and then it's almost like FS 2020 the way that it does things with the clouds. So it's similar in that aspect.
Brandon Armstrong.
And
Everything is fine. The
in
auto
that
throttle was
aspect, it
turned off
also
and he was
generates
just getting all the
sounds.
speed warnings.
Around you, basically, or your wind, or your wind, thunder, and rain.
Road talent.
Lazy bum.
Who's flying
Um,
with you?
What about that,
It's worth
Josh?
a
My
shot.
kid says, "Hey, Dad, how does a nice, juicy sirloin steak sound?" I'm like, "Oh, that sounds good." I go in there and I'm like you gonna make a steak? He's like, "Oh, I made me a steak." Lazy bum. Anyway, so you tell him about that,
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I wish I knew if someone's already tried it.
Yeah.
I hate to try it and it not work. I think from what I've been,
I mean,
from what
I
I've
can't
read,
really buy it right now. But
from what I've read, you load the flight plan into that just like you do Active Sky.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with that as long as we can access, even if that's the only button we can access is the load flight plan.
I don't
I mean-
load for freeware or for payware. I just let the PMDG create the active sky
Brandon
flight plan and
Armstrong.
just load it.
That's just
to
wrong.
have, like every
Getting
time
all
when
your
I
excitement for
set
a
something
steak
up
and
in
you don't
options,
get
I think
one.
it's under simulation, where you can have whenever you request weather, like load weather into the plane, it will then load a flight plan into the simulator, and then Active Sky will pick it up, and so will TFM.
Yeah, the only thing you're not doing is going Active Sky hitting the load flight plan button, right?
Yeah.
I gotta look at my Active Sky because it's not being given accurate weather anyways. It's not being accurate. at all.
Well, sometimes you have to periodically check Active Sky to see if
Rook
live
Talent.
weather is on, because sometimes it'll switch
Can you
to,
actually
to
get real weather
custom
going
weather
on airplanes?
if like you lose connection
So if you're
or
flying
something.
in the winter,
server,
it'll be
switch, you
snowing
have to switch it
depending
back
on where
then.
you're at?
Yes, that's correct. If we're flying, let's say that it's December and we're in Detroit, and let's say Detroit's got 3 inches of snow on the ground, it's going to simulate that same weather condition. Yeah. That's why we always try to get the best weather programs that we can, because we want the best simulated weather.
Brandon Armstrong. But the problem is when he tried that one day, it loaded the wrong weather.
When I tried what, Brandon? Oh, well, no, it just didn't give me the same temperature.
Oh,
When I did flight the other day, Brandon, so if that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure what else you might be talking about, but sometimes Active Sky, though, will turn off its live option, and you got to go back in and hit live.
when he tried what, Brandon? The PMDG brand, all that does, it literally takes the weather from Active Sky. There's no way he could have loaded the wrong weather, because if he's loading the wrong weather, there's something wrong with Active Sky. Like,
Yeah, because the only thing that you're loading with Active
Rook
Sky...
Talent. Sorry if I'm asking stupid questions. I'm
No,
about
you're-
as green to this as could possibly be the case.
No, you're good,
I know
dude.
Eurofly had real weather.
no, Eurofly didn't have real weather. It only had it not like this, definitely.
Well, they simulated the weather with wherever you was. It would simulate what the weather was. But
Yeah.
it didn't do like the sim you're in now. Everything about the weather will matter on, how you're doing your flight matters as much as the weather. In Eurofly,
Eurofly
matter
only
to me.
simulated it. Eurofly only simulated the weather on the ground. It didn't simulate it in the air. It only simulated at your airports.
yeah, well, it would give you like, if it was cloudy, it would give you cloudy weather when you take off, but
Yeah, but it was random though. It wasn't that. It didn't go
Yeah.
by real weather.
yeah. But if you at least those of you that's been in Eurofly, it will give you, at least gives you an idea about flying. But I'll tell you, once you get your hands in and you start flying, it's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
Well worth it at that, but just totally different.
Brandon Armstrong. Yes, that's what I was talking about. But that's what I'm saying though, Josh. When he had the PMDG load the weather, Active Sky for some reason picked up the wrong weather when he was in flight. Rook Talent. So can your plane components actually freeze, so you have to take those precautions in the sim if you're using real weather?
Yes. If let's say that you want to do a flight and you're flying to Alaska Okay?
Smokin' Joe Biden. Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman
You're an
owns you,
idiot, dude.
Oxyman owns you.
Hold on. Let me get rid of this idiot. Hold on, you guys.
Smokin' Joe Biden. Face with tears of joy.
There we go. Got rid of that idiot. Just another troll, you guys. Like I said, anytime these trolls come on, don't pay no attention to them. They're just people on the lounge that are not supporters and just want to try
Brandon
to
Armstrong.
start trouble.
Eurofly did not do a very good job
But I did
simulating
block
weather
them,
on
so
the
they're
ground
good.
though either. It would
Oh,
always
you
have windy
multi-streaming on the
conditions
lounge-
every
the
few
lounge
seconds
too?
it seemed like.
Now I blocked the person that came in from
Rook
the
talent.
lounge running her mouth.
I've heard of what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to de-ice your wings before you take off.
Well, and what I was going to tell you before we started getting the troll,
Have you seen Brandon? I can't remember. Like, do you remember that flight that Brandon's talking about, Johnny? Like, apparently he said that you used the PMDG and it loaded the wrong weather. Like, I don't understand how that could happen.
No, I
because
loaded-
it's getting.
well, it didn't give me the accurate weather. When I loaded the weather, it didn't give me, when I loaded the Active Sky, I loaded my flight plan, it didn't give me the actual, it was like 70 something in Detroit and it was telling me it was 54.
Oh, what the hell! Wow.
That's Active Sky. That's not PMDG though. That's Active Sky
Yeah.
doing that, not PMDG. What I was going to tell you though, to answer your question, yes. Let's say we had to do a flight to Alaska, and you know it's cold there. If I was to take off without my wing anti-ice on, and if I didn't turn on the engine anti-ice, it's going to cause some serious problems on takeoff. We might very well get up in the air, but we're going to freeze up somewhere. The wings are going to freeze up, or the engine's going to freeze up, and basically where the air comes into the plane and comes, you know, where it circulates in, that's going to freeze where it won't even get air through the engine, so it causes it to overheat. There's several things that can happen, actually. So, this is a different sound pack that I'm trying out, actually. It's not bad. I think the one that I've got with Declan is better. And pretty much, I just got to copy, delete the sound folder, take off .o to the original folder, and then copy 2 files back into the.
Rook talent. It's a nice bit of sounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds good too, though. Let's see what we're looking like. 280 knots. That's more like it. Okay, yeah, we're going the right way.
Rook talent. Is this short flight? Or are you doing this for a long amount of time?
This flight is actually, we got about 3 hours to go. See you, Mom, love you. We got 3 hours and 19 minutes left to go. Yeah, I'm fully weighed down too. I've got
Brandon Armstrong.
full hold cargo.
I remember a flight that he did to Dallas in February when we had a major ice storm going on, and he went through a cloud of ice and it froze up the plane.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, that is on YouTube. I forget the name of the video, but it's on YouTube.
Smoking
Well.
Joe Biden. Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you. Wonderful thing about being able to block people is you don't gotta listen to the idiots that want to talk stupid. You just block them and move on, people. Like I just did. I'm glad that the Restream lets you do that now. You can, so on Restream on the Road
chat
talent.
app.
Apparently the older planes of the 1940s let you have a radio for listening to music while you were flying.
Block them on,
Watched another blind flyer fly an old bomber plane.
You know, I can block them
Was
through
pretty neat.
the app.
Smoking
So-
Joe Biden. Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you,
This guy's an
Oxyman
idiot.
owns you, Oxyman owns you.
And we'll just add him to the block list there. There we go. There we go. Took care of that, didn't we? By golly. By golly, we did. Yes, indeed. See, YouTube, the problem with YouTube is these trolls can create name after name after name, right?
Yeah.
So when you block it, it's not blocking their IP, it's only blocking their name. And I think that's a dumb way to do that. They should make it where it blocks the IP. It'd be a lot better.
Brandon Armstrong. I wouldn't be surprised if planes from the 40s had a radio due to the fact that pilots were probably bored out of their minds.
Well, they had radios because Jimmy's World, he would find a 1951, and I mean, it had a radio in it. 1952, something like that.
The A2A B-17 actually has like old-time radio. Like it's literally a plane for the sim. It actually has old-time radio broadcasts in it you can listen to on your flight. It's pretty
Rook
cool.
Talon. I've seen scenarios on P3D
Really,
where
was
you
it?
can fly helicopters. Also,
Yeah.
aren't pilots nowadays bored to their minds?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do the helicopter. That's a little bit more intense, and TFM doesn't support it.
I tried helicopters back in the day with MSX Pilot. I mean, it flies them, but you know,
Yeah.
we didn't have any clue what was actually going on because of no TFM.
Now, what add-on are you talking about? Does the old radio?
It's a B-17. It's an old like World War II like bomber.
For
But
P3D or
but
what?
it had for P3D. Yeah, it's A2A. The same people who made like the Cherokee,
Oh, and you could turn
YouTube
on
live stream chat
Bonanza.
spammer.
and you can turn on
Oxyman
radios
owns you,
in it, and it
Oxyman
had, like,
owns you,
old-time
Oxyman
radio
owns you,
reviews and stuff
Oxyman
like that.
owns you, Oxyman owns you.
Oh, this idiot.
Brandon Armstrong. No, I don't think pilots are bored today, due to the fact that airplanes are more comfortable than they were in the 40s.
Hold on, guys. Hey, Talon, say something. Make sure it didn't block you. I don't think it did.
Rook Talon. Yeah, but
Okay,
what do
there we
you do
go.
for the majority of the time while autopilot has taken over?
No, you're right. You're right. I think that there's been many a times when I would, I'm gonna do something. Let's get rid of. Okay, here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna. Yeah, I think that they
You gotta-
do sometimes get bored.
I think there's a way to ban these people, like ban them outright from ban the account. But the problem is, he just came back with a new account.
No, we're going to. I'm going to do something right now.
Live stream spammer. Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you, Oxyman owns you.
All she says is the Oxy man. He must be his boyfriend. He's in love with the guy. Oh, guys, we'll fix that.
Rogue Talon. The pilot's seat is more comfortable than ever, while those in coach suffer hard while in that plane.
Come on. Oh, I gotta fix this up real quick.
Rogue Talon. Well, I should say those in coach who are 6 foot tall plus suffer hard. Those who are short